Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Rake and Profit over at rakeandprofit.com. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 10 reasons why your eBay or your Amazon store isn't making sales. Maybe you just started listing items from around your house on eBay. You could be a beginner. Maybe you've been doing this for a couple weeks, couple months, going to thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, auctions, which is what I talk a lot about on my channel, to sell on eBay and Amazon, and your items just aren't selling. Now, there's a lot of reasons why your items might not be selling. It's probably 30 or 40 reasons, but there's really, like, the root of the issue is probably these 5 or 10 problems and challenges that I'm going to talk about. You can see them on the screen. Make sure to watch this video in depth because I'm really going to go deep into each one of these topics. And by the end of this video, you're definitely going to have some actionable steps to be able to solve this issue in your eBay and Amazon store. So if you're ready to rock and roll, do me a favor, smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe. I post a lot of videos about eBay and Amazon. I've actually been doing this for almost 9 years. Quit my job, taught my mom how to retire doing it. A lot of my friends and family sell on eBay and Amazon, and I love it. It's absolutely awesome. I love the freedom that it gives, and there's a lot of money to be made. So let's jump right into things. So we got a question that came in from Tara. You could see on the left-hand part of the screen. She essentially is moving from Facebook Marketplace to eBay, and they're not having any sales. So they're trying to figure out why their items aren't selling. And let's go through some of these different issues and challenges and reasons why. I've helped a lot of people start their business. I've seen a lot of people kind of screw up and make mistakes. I've made a ton of these mistakes. And the number one reason is usually it's because your item isn't very popular and doesn't sell often. If you're selling on eBay, you really want to make sure before you buy an item to go into the sold listing. So you can do this on your phone, you can do this on desktop, but look up whatever item it is that you want to sell. Maybe it's a Ralph Lauren polo, sweater, purple label. Go over to eBay, go to the sold listings. There's a button right here that says sold listings. Click it, click the condition that your item is in. So maybe it's pre-owned, and find your specific item that you're selling and check the eBay sold listings to see how often it's selling. How often is it selling? Is it once a day, once a week, once a month? How much is it selling for? Are the new sweaters going for 80 and then the used are around 30 to 40? Like, get a really good idea of the market of that item. And that's the number one issue that most people have, is they're loading up their store with a bunch of items that don't sell very often. They're not very popular. And again, how do you know if it's popular? On eBay, look that item up, that specific item, the same color, the same material, the same specific item, and see how often it's selling. If it's not selling very often, don't buy it. Now, it's okay to buy items that only sell once a month, once every couple months, if there's a huge profit margin. For example, maybe a Ralph Lauren purple label sweater only sells once every 2 months. I'm just making it up, but it sells for 80. If you can get it for $2, it's worth it to wait. But if it's only going to make you $2 or $3, do you really want to deploy your money or put something in your store that's going to take that long to sell? It's probably not worth it. So do your research. On Amazon, you could download the Amazon Seller app. You can scan barcodes. You can look items up, and it'll give you a sales rank, which equates to the sales velocity, how fast it sells. So just do your research. That's the biggest problem that most people come across. If the item only sells a couple times, a quarter, then it's going to take a while. You're going to have to be patient. Number two, and we kind of talked about this a little bit, you got to make sure you price your items correctly. When you're studying the eBay sold listings or you're looking up items on Amazon, you've got to be competitively priced. Now, there are ways that you can price your items 10, 15, 20% higher if you really knock it out the park with great pictures, you have fantastic feedback, fast shipping, great return policy. We'll talk more about that. But typically, you're going to have to price within 5% of the lowest price if you're trying to get quick sales. Again, that's just a general rule of thumb, 5 to 10% or so. There are ways to price higher, but just remember, the more competitively priced you are with that specific item, typically the quicker it is going to sell. So you got to price your items correctly, especially on Amazon. Pricing is even more important. On eBay, there are ways to differentiate yourself, as I mentioned, but study the sold listings on eBay and make sure you price your items correctly. That will really, really help you. Oh, another tip is if you price a little too high, adding that best offer option can help keep you in the market. So, a lot of people do buy it now with no best offer. I like to add the best offer. And you could also set perimeters inside of your eBay listing to automatically decline offers that are under a certain price and even accept them over a certain price. So that'll help automate the process so you're not spending so much time inside your eBay inbox dealing with that stuff. Number three, you're not being patient enough. And again, I've talked about this a little bit. I know this doesn't really help you with, my items aren't selling, but sometimes you have to be patient. And I wanted to throw this in there just because if an item only sells once a month, you can't expect it to sell in 2 days and 3 days and 1 week. And if there's other competitors, especially competitors with more feedback, with a better description, with more pictures, sometimes it could take 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So again, this goes back to that core issue. Your item might not be popular enough. It might not sell often enough. Your pricing might be too high. If your pricing's too high, the product doesn't sell very often, there's a lot of competition, you're going to have to be patient. Now, a big thing that happens to a lot of new sellers is they don't have a lot of listings. They don't have a lot of feedback. They haven't really sold a lot of items, and the algorithm kind of hates you. Now, in the beginning, a lot of times the algorithm will benefit you, but if you've been selling for maybe a couple months or so, or even a couple weeks, it just depends. I don't know. It's not an exact science here. But the algorithm, I'll put it this way. The algorithm favors eBay sellers who are selling items often, who have really good feedback, who are listing on a regular basis. And on the other side of the coin, if you don't list very often, if you have a lot of issues with customers, if you're fighting with customers in the inbox, getting negative feedback, if you're not listing very often, like I said, if you're not like engaging on the platform, it's almost as if they like blackball you, right? They blacklist you. I've talked to a lot of sellers. I've had this happen to me before where I get a return or there's an issue or I get a negative feedback and then sales just slow down. Sometimes it's the algorithm. So you really want to focus on taking care of your customers, listing on a regular basis, doing your best to get positive feedback. And this could play a big role in your eBay business. This is a little less, I don't say it would apply as much on Amazon. On Amazon, you just get kicked off. But some of these things don't really apply to Amazon. I feel like it's much easier to get sales on Amazon, whereas with eBay, the algorithm's really kind of like watching over you like a big brother. The next thing, and this is really important on eBay. This isn't important on Amazon because Amazon, you don't have to take your own pictures. There's listings that you piggyback on. But with eBay, it's so important to really post, 10, 11, 12 pictures. Make sure your pictures are really good. They're clean. They depict your item in a really strong manner. It's just pictures are worth 1,000 words. It's so important on eBay. It's more important to have good lighting and a clean background than like a really good camera. Now, if you have an iPhone or an Android, a newer phone, if you have good lighting, daylight lighting is fantastic. A nice clean background, it'll do the job. If you're selling clothes, make sure they're ironed. Don't have just have good pictures. It's so important. If you have a kind of an ugly, nasty picture, you're going to get passed up on 9 out of 10 times. Now, if you have a really, really popular item like an iPhone or some technology that's really trendy, it doesn't matter as much. And I can tell you, a lot of these things don't apply if your item's really, really popular. If you get a really cool Vineyard Vines shirt with a nice logo on the front with a cool color, it's a bright pink color, people love it, it's trending, the kids love it. You could have a wrinkly clothing item, it's not on a mannequin, doesn't look the best, and it'll still sell. But the more long tail you go, the less popular an item is. It really becomes important, some of these things that I'm talking about. So make sure your pictures are good. The algorithm loves it when you post more pictures, and the algorithm will you'll outrank your competitor if you have more pictures. So that's really, really important. A lot of times people's sales are a little bit slower because they don't have a solid description that allows the customer to make a buying decision right then and there. As an example, again, maybe you're selling a Vineyard Vines polo dress shirt. It's beautiful. They love it, but they're not sure if it's going to fit them because you didn't include the chest measurement, the sleeve, the length, and they need that. They don't want to have to deal with returns. Even though eBay and Amazon, they've made that really simple now. They're having a hard time making a buying decision because you haven't given them everything that they need. So make sure that you take the time to really focus on good pictures, add your measurements. If there's a flaw, if there's an issue, and if there's a flaw like on a shirt, put like a nickel or a quarter up to it so they can see the different size. Give them all the information they need in order to make a decision right then and there. The next thing I want to talk about is SEO. Again, if you have a really popular item, people are going to find it, but it's important to put the major important keywords in the title. The title is really important. You don't want to waste keywords. You want to make sure that you put relevant keywords, study the competition. Also, your item specifics, fill that out as much as possible in your description. You can use some good keywords. I feel like a lot of people get a little too caught up into this. The title is the most important part of the SEO process, if you want to put it that way. So make sure you put a good, strong title in your eBay listing. The next thing I want to talk about is a couple things that can hold you back from getting sales. You're charging too much for shipping. It's not reasonable. Maybe your shipping and handling time is too long. Amazon kind of ruined it for us all. Everybody wants to get their items in a day, 2 days. If you have 3, 4, 5 day shipping and handling time, and you're only offering economy, slow shipping methods to save money, you're going to turn a lot of people off. The same with your return policy. If you don't have a 30, 60 day return policy, you're going to turn a lot of people off as well. Now, not everybody's going to look at it, but shipping the same day or next day is important. Making sure it's okay to add shipping. A lot of people say, oh, you only have to do free shipping. You could charge shipping, but a reasonable amount. It's okay to make a little bit of money on the shipping, but a reasonable amount. Plus, you'll get discounts, and you'll probably make some money on the shipping if you ship through the eBay portal. And just have a good, strong return policy. It's 2022. People want to be able to return their items if possible. The next thing is, if you have no feedback or poor feedback on your account, this is going to affect your sales. Probably not as important as, if your item is popular, if you're pricing it right, if the algorithm's on your side because you're listing and engaging with the platform, having a good, strong title, strong SEO, good shipping times, so on and so forth. But having negative feedback or having no feedback on your account will turn some people off, because a lot of people don't want to get scammed. There's still scams going on eBay. Same with Amazon, and people want to buy from a seller who has feedback. So work on building up your feedback at first. It's really important. And speaking of build your inventory. I can't say it enough. Selling on eBay and Amazon is a numbers game. You're going to have a certain percentage of a sell-through rate each and every month in your store. With clothing, sometimes it's 10, 20%. With other items, it could be higher or lower. So, if you have, let's just say you have 1,000 items in your inventory, you might only turn over 150, 250, 300 items per month. So you have to realize there is a turnover rate based on your pricing, based on the popularity of your items, based on how good of a job you do with your pictures, with your SEO. It's all going to play into your sell-through rate. So you got to be patient, and you got to understand that, there is competitors out there. Each and every buyer is a little bit different. Some people are looking for, some people are willing to pay a bit more because they want that specific item and it's quicker shipping time. So it's not always about the pricing. It's not always about some of the factors I mentioned. Like, you can get away, and these are all just general rules, but these are the main reasons why your items might not be selling. Again, number one is your items probably not popular. Number two, your items probably aren't priced correctly. Those are the top things that you really need to focus on. Focus on getting really good quality stuff. Focus on sourcing items at a good value, so you have some room to price it in a nice way for your customers. And hopefully this video helped. If it did, smash that like button. Tara, appreciate you dropping the comment. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop a comment or a question down below. Smash that like button, show some love if you enjoyed this video. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.